Candace Collier, and I want to tell you about my latest novel, Shipwrecked. The story of a man and a woman trapped together on a desert island. An island filled with adventure and romance. An island where all your fantasies can come true.
And cut. Oh, that was great, Miss Collier, really.
Of course it was.
Eve? Eve? She really doesn't have time to talk to you now, Mr. Bonet. She always has time to talk to me. I'm her publisher.
Eve, don't just stand there. Go get me a donut.
You look marvelous, darling.
Mwah, mwah. One of those chocolate ones. Oh, what are you doing here?
Well, you haven't signed your contracts yet.
That's right, and I'm not going to.
We've been together 10 years.
Does the phrase, "who cares," mean anything to you?
I've published every one of your books. We've made a fortune together, darling.
I can make money with or without you, darling.
What do you think about the shirt? Is it ripped enough, or should I lose it altogether?
It's perfect. Just like you are, Cosmo.
I know.
Flatter yourself. People don't buy my books because you're on the dust cover.
No? Why don't you try sticking your face on one, see how it sells? Oh, poor Candace. Still upset it's not you I'm marrying on Sunday?
That Jolene is one lucky girl.
And he reminds her of that every day.
I don't have to.
I told you I wanted a donut.
It was all I could find, Miss Collier.
Well, I suppose it'll have to do.
Barbara Manchester's here.
What's Barbara Manchester doing here?
Having lunch with me. Two authors comparing notes.
I thought you two despised each other.
We do, but business is business. Barbara!
Darling, so glad you're free.
Candace is leaving me and taking Barbara Manchester with her, isn't she? Miss Collier doesn't really discuss those kind of things with me.
Well, I have news for her. It will never happen.
Oh, Barbara! You look ageless.
I hear you got yourself another bestseller.
Well, I'm sure you'll have a comeback with your next book.
So, what's this meeting all about?
About your future in this business. Or lack of it. We'll talk it over at lunch at Chez Cherie. Come on, I'll drive.
I'll just be a minute.
Hi, Helen. I guess one little candy before lunch won't hurt. It's Burke's Law.
Hi, I'm Vinny Piatti. If you go out with me, you'll have a lot of laughs and the freshest seafood in town. And if you don't go out with me, you could just come for dinner, you know, at Vinny's restaurant by the sea. You could, eat in or take it out and eat it at home. Good, bad, what?
Has this dating service matched you up with anyone?
No, not exactly, but I realize that this dating service video thing is like a gold mine.
So,
So I bought it.
What, you own a video dating service?
Yeah, it's a natural. Do you know how many single people there are in this town? There's 3 right in this room right now.
Vinny, have you thought this thing through?
Well, it's not like brain surgery. Listen, I have coupons, 2 for 1. I give them to the couples. You know what they do? I charge them for the video, then they come to the restaurant, I charge them for the food. It ain't bad. Look at that. Coupons for everybody. Go ahead. Hey, Amos, if you want, I can fix you up.
Sorry, not my style.
Well, c'est la vie. Peter, what about you? I got some girls that are very interested in officers of the law.
Well, I'm afraid they're just gonna have to keep looking, Vinny.
Would they settle for someone who works for an officer of the law?
Yes, absolutely. I offer you a money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. That's how sure I am of this thing. It works like a charm.
Hello. All right, we'll be on our way. Henry, I'm afraid you're gonna have to put a hold on your love life. There's been a murder in Malibu.
Oh.
Chief. Hi, Pete.
Hello, Lily. What have you got?
Ever hear candy stuff?
I've been finding these everywhere.
How sweet. Any witnesses?
A whole parking lot full. They were filming a commercial for our latest book.
Did anyone happen to see who put the box of candy in her car?
I'm afraid not. Chief, this is Eve Baker. She's the victim's...
Well, there's Suzanne Dubonnet. She's Candace's publisher. She left right after the explosion. And then there's Cosmo.
Cosmo?
He's a model. Well, he's the model, really. He's on the cover of practically every romance novel. He and Candace were lovers till about 6 months ago. Now he's about to marry Jolene Boyle. She's another model. She's very, very hot.
Are they still here?
They left, too.
Did anyone bother to stay?
Only Barbara Manchester.
Barbara Manchester. Well, that's a name I know. Where is she?
The last I saw her, she was walking down by the beach.
Peter, why don't you finish up with Miss Baker? I'm gonna take a little walk. Barbara.
Amos.
It's been a long time.
You better not put 1 second's thought into how long if you know what's good for you.
You're looking good, kid. As beautiful as ever.
Oh, and you're just as charming.
I thought you were living up in Carmel.
I moved back a few months ago into the coziest, most romantic house I could find. How about you? Did you ever remarry?
No.
Still too busy chasing down murderers to stop and smell the roses, huh?
Oh, I managed to stop and smell them from time to time.
Just haven't found one worth picking, is that it?
Something like that. Now for business.
Oh, I remember that voice. Chief Burke.
What can you tell me about Candace Collier?
Well, she was the living embodiment of her books. Oversexed, overwrought, mean, hopelessly tacky. Those were her good points.
I don't suppose you have any idea who killed her.
How about anyone who appreciated good literature?
I was hoping for something a little more specific than that.
Amos, I'm not sure how much I can help you. I'll tell you what I know.
Very good.
Keep us posted.
Yeah, as soon as I get any results. See you later.
I was beginning to wonder where you were.
Interviewing Barbara Manchester. You won't remember this, Peter, but a couple of years after your mother died, Barbara and I were dating, briefly. The victim invited Barbara to lunch today, some business proposition. Unfortunately, Barbara never found out what.
According to Eve Baker, they both had the same publisher, Suzanne Dubonnet. Candace Collier was about to leave her.
Maybe Candace Collier wanted Barbara Manchester to do the same.
And Suzanne Dubonnet would have a lot to lose if 2 of her top writers jumped ship.
I think we've got the makings of a good book there. Chapter 1, the murder. Chapter 2, question our first suspect, Suzanne Dubonnet.
I can't believe how many unsolicited manuscripts I get each week. Mostly from Candace Collier wannabes. Oh, look.
No self-addressed stamped envelope. What a pity. You know, a publisher's job is to know the difference between common trash and the kind of trash that's the stuff of dreams.
And what did you think of Candace Collier?
Well, her characters were cardboard, and her plots were linear. But that woman could write a sex scene better than anybody I've ever read.
Why'd you leave the murder scene so suddenly?
Damage control. The only thing better than a living author is a dead one. Do you know this is going to send sales of Shipwreck through the roof? Oh, not that I'm not absolutely devastated. The poor darling. I told her chocolates were the death of her.
No, thank you. Interesting. Same brand of chocolates that the bomb was hidden in.
They were Candace's favorites. She bought tons of them. She handed them out to everybody she knew.
Ms. Dubonnet, we've heard that Candace Collier was planning to switch publishers.
Rumors, all lies.
We also heard you two fought a lot.
Another rumor.
No, now that's true. We were both strong-willed women who wanted to have our own way. Screaming was how we communicated. Now, if you're interested in fighting, you should talk to Alexandra St. John.
Alexandra St. John?
Another one of my writers. She's notoriously private, except for her feelings about Candace. She hated her.
Enough to kill her?
I've been asking myself that same question.
Use your left! That's it, use your left! Jab and move, jab and move! Use your left! That's it, use your left! Use your left, spin! Hit him! Hit him, yes! Jab and move! Now the uppercut! Hit him! Hit him, yes!
Alexandra St. John?
You've got to be kidding. You guys deaf? Knock it off!
What? What do you want?
Police. We're looking for Alexandra St. John.
What do you want of her?
We want to talk to her about Candace Collier.
I heard she went out with a bang. Couldn't have happened to a nicer hack.
Are you Mr. St. John?
Hell no, there's no Mr. St. John.
Now, who are you?
Alexandra St. John. My pen name.
He's really Norman Hope.
Norman Hope? You wrote Man Among Men?
And won the Pulitzer Prize.
Okay, thank you, Pamela. You can quit ringing my bell now.
From Man Among Men to romance novels. I don't get it.
Well, see, winning prizes doesn't exactly pay the bills. My second novel got panned, and my mother wouldn't even buy the third one, so I figured maybe I had to turn my attention to the masses. Now, since Alexandra St. John is so mysterious, no one is the wiser.
What's your connection to Candace Collier?
I was married to her 20 years ago, and she watched my career go right down the toilet. So one day she sat down, the little no-brain housefrau, and she wrote out a piece of garbage that was so bad, it sold 1 million copies. I broke her nose. And then she left me for one of my buddies.
Chocolates, anyone?
So give me 2.
No, thanks. Mr. Hope, where were you this morning at 10 a.m.?
Malibu.
Malibu?
Malibu. I scuba dive. I was trying a new spot off of Point Doom.
Alone?
Yeah, why? Is that a crime?
No, but murder is. Candace Collier was killed on the beach at Malibu.
Rest time's over.
Listen, as much as I would have liked to, I didn't kill her, okay? You want to know how Alexandra St. John felt about Candace Collier?
Come along, Peter. I'd say that Alexandra St. John ended her 3rd chapter with a well-placed right cross.
The bomb was triggered by the lid opening. The components were simple. It could have been made by anyone with a rudimentary knowledge of explosives.
Norman Hope had a Navy tattoo on his left arm.
I'll find out what his specialty was.
Anything from that bomb you could trace?
Yeah, the ribbon that was tied around the box. Looks promising. I lifted a couple of latent fingerprints, and I'm running them through the computer now.
You do good work.
Papers. Oh, thank God.
Barbara, what's wrong?
A box of candy was left on my doorstep about an hour ago. I was afraid to open it.
Oh, my. Mike, get the bomb squad over to Barbara Manchester's house. Check on a box of chocolates on her doorstep. Toot sweet. Got it.
A note was attached. Here.
careful. You could be next.
Look at me, I'm still shaking.
Any idea who might have sent the threat to you?
I don't know. I really don't.
Chief Burke here. Oh, very good. Thank you. The box was empty. No bomb.
Oh, thank God.
I'll have forensics examine it. Maybe we can find out who sent it.
Well, at least I'm getting material for my next book.
What's it going to be about?
Star-crossed lovers, missed opportunities, and romance. That's something we almost had once, remember?
That was a long time ago.
And your wife had just died, and you weren't ready. You see, Amos, I remember all the excuses.
Reasons. And they were all true.
So were your feelings, and mine. If I've learned anything since, it's that men are constantly pulled between reason and feeling. I better go. Can I talk you into taking me home, maybe staying for a drink?
Well, I'd be very happy to take you home and stay for a drink. But as long as the case is still open, I can't.
Reason speaks, see?
But on the other hand, you could entice me into having lunch with you tomorrow.
I'll call you in the morning.
I'll have a patrol car in front of your house all night. You got nothing to worry about.
Good night, Amos.
Hi. I'm Samantha. From the service. Where do you want to do it?
Excuse me?
We can do it in the kitchen, dining room, wherever you're most comfortable.
Who are you?
Samantha. Aren't you Henry?
I'm Henry. She's here to shoot my video dating tape.
Sorry.
Me too. Go for it, Henry.
Let's go to the kitchen. I'm more comfortable over there.
How's Barbara Manchester?
Fine. I put her house under surveillance.
I'm still waiting to hear back from the Pentagon and Norman Hope's military records. But I did come up with something very interesting on our male model, Cosmo.
Which is?
He was arrested as a juvenile for blowing up a garbage truck with a pipe bomb.
Well, I guess that makes Cosmo the subject of Chapter 4. Speaking of which, I picked up a copy of Candace Collier's latest book, Shipwrecked.
Steamy?
With a capital S. What particularly interested me was her detailed description of a pipe bomb. Now, what I'd like you to find out is how she knew so much about explosives.
I already made an appointment with her assistant, Eve.
I hope it isn't at noon. I'm having lunch with Barbara Manchester.
Ooh, lunch with an old flame. Good for you, Dad.
Come on, Peter. It's about the case.
Of course. Whatever you say.
Yes?
Hello, is Cosmo home?
Who wants to know?
Detective Burke. Homicide.
Oh, you hear about Candace. Well, frankly, I'm glad she's dead.
Don't suppose you killed her.
1,000 times. Up here. I'm the jealous type.
So, is Cosmo around?
Yeah, he's working out back. Cosmo. Cosmo.
What?
Detective Burke is here to see you.
Thanks. Let me guess. Robin Hood.
Yeah. I'm rehearsing my next book cover. Passion in Sherwood Forest.
Well, alas, knave. I have a far greater interest in a murder in Malibu. Methinks you should answer a few simple questions.
Ah, well. Do come hither, varlet.
From what I've heard, there wasn't much beloved left between you two.
Detective. I'm a lover, not a killer. Not bad, Detective, not bad.
And you were also a juvenile delinquent named Johnny Cosmonopoulos, who liked to blow up things.
That was a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Well, sometimes old habits come in pretty handy.
All right. Yeah, I could have made that bomb, but I didn't.
Why should I believe you?
Because of the truth. And because I owe everything to Candace. Look, I was just a beach bum when she found me. Or should I say when she picked me up. She told me I looked like every woman's fantasy, that I could use my face and my body to make a fortune. She talked me into becoming a model. She got me my first magazine spread, my first book cover. She's the one who turned Johnny Cosmonopoulos into Cosmo.
And she's the one who dumped you.
Ah, the old scorned lover approach.
A tried and true motive for murder.
Not in this case. There was never any love between us. We were just fulfilling each other's fantasies. Hers were based on sex, mine on money.
Just one more question. If you were writing a book about Candace's murder, who would you put on the cover?
No problem. I was there when someone threatened to kill her. I believe the exact words were, "I'll burn you alive, you witch."
Who said that?
Barbara Manchester.
I understand you and Candace had a rocky relationship, Barbara.
I've always believed that all turning the other cheek gets you is two slapped cheeks. Candace attacked me in the press. She made fun of my books on television.
My son tells me you threatened to kill her.
I didn't mean it. I was mad. I'd lost my temper. I didn't know there was a restaurant up here.
There is now.
Lunch is served.
Oh, Amos, it's gorgeous. Absolutely.
Romantic?
Yes.
Madame, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you. You're wondering if I'm guilty, aren't you? Thinking that I might have even sent that death threat to myself to throw you off the trail.
A clever plot twist, worthy of your talents.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or an indictment.
Depends on whether you're guilty or not.
I'm guilty of hating her. And I'm glad she's dead. Oh, Amos, I don't mean to sound cruel, just grateful. Her murder has brought us back together.
You understand, I have to ask these questions.
I want you to. The sooner Candace's murder is behind us, the better.
My thoughts exactly.
Candace practically lived in here. She wrote all her books here and had all her meals here.
And her lovers?
Those she had wherever she wanted.
How long did you work for her?
About 3 years. I met Candace when I was a junior at college at a book signing. We started talking, and I told her I wanted to be a writer, and I don't know, I guess she liked me. Anyway, we started a correspondence, and when I graduated, she invited me to come work for her.
What did you do for her?
Oh, gosh, what didn't I do? I answered her fan mail. I scheduled her appointments. Sometimes I edited her manuscripts.
Were you the one who researched the details for the bomb in her last book?
No, Candace always did her research herself.
The car bomb in the novels didn't give you any ideas, did it?
No. I loved Candace. She was my hero. I could never hurt her.
Well, you said you wanted to be a writer. I mean, what happened to your writing career?
Well, working for Candace made me realize that I really didn't have much talent.
Was she working on a new book?
No, in fact, she was burnt out. She hadn't written a book in 6 months.
Shipwrecked was just published.
Shipwrecked was written 2 years ago. See, Candace was extremely prolific. She could write a book every 2 weeks. And she never used a computer or anything. She'd just dictate to me, and I would type it up for her. Well, these were written years ago. Every so often, we just send one off to Suzanne Dubonnet. I thought we had kept it a secret, but someone found out.
How do you know?
Because one of the manuscripts was stolen last week.
Any idea who?
No, but Candace did. She told me she'd figured it out and she was going to tell the police. Do you think that's why she was killed, because of the manuscript?
Oh, I think it's safe to say the plot has definitely thickened. Hasn't it?
Okay. This is the death threat letter that was sent to Barbara Manchester. I couldn't find any fingerprints. No watermarks on the paper. Nothing significant about the ink.
Then it's a dead end.
Well, I didn't say that. Under the microscope, I did find a fine film of carbon particulates.
Carbon particulates? In English, please.
Well, whoever typed the note must have been working in a room with a fireplace. And they were burning paper, not wood.
Like our publisher, Suzanne Dubonnet.
Miss Dubonnet! Watch it!
I don't know what came over me. I just saw you two, and I panicked. How can I thank you?
The truth would be a start. You sent that death threat to Barbara Manchester, didn't you?
I never thought you'd be able to trace that back to me.
It's your penchant for burning bad writers that gave you away. The ash from your fireplace was found on the letter.
I guess I should remember that for next time one of my mystery writers is for a clue, huh?
I didn't tell you this as a gift to great literature. Candace Collier is dead. Barbara Manchester's been threatened. Now you are our prime suspect.
But I didn't have anything to do with Candace's death. I just took advantage of the situation to scare Barbara. I swear to you, I would never want to hurt anybody.
Why do you want to scare Barbara?
Well, to keep her from changing publishers. You know, I figured that if Barbara thought that Candace had been killed because she was planning on leaving me, then, well, you know, you get the idea.
What can you tell us about a manuscript that was stolen from Candace Collier's house?
A stolen manuscript? This is the first I've heard about it. But if Candace wrote it, it's worth a fortune.
The question is, would it be worth killing for?
Well, Peter, what do you think?
No, Henry, the patches too square.
My thoughts exactly.
Nice jacket.
How you doing, Dad?
Well, fine. To tell you the truth, this case is beginning to give me writer's block.
I know exactly what you mean. It's got quite a cast of characters, huh?
How about this?
No, too European, too French.
Tough room. What's with Henry?
He's trying to decide on a sport coat for his video date. Speaking of dates, you really haven't been in a serious relationship since Mom died.
What are you talking about?
Barbara Manchester. Maybe it's time you thought about settling down again.
I'm supposed to be saying that to you.
And when I'm lucky enough to meet the right woman, I hope that you do.
This came for you. Now, how's this?
Now we're talking. Very debonair, sharp.
That looks good on you, Henry. And very familiar.
It ought to. It's yours.
You're welcome.
Norman Hope's background. You were right.
He spent 4 years in the Navy as a demolitions expert.
Thank you. Excuse me, I'm looking for Mr. Hope.
Alexandra St. John hates being interrupted when she's working. I only wear this when I'm writing. It helps Alexandra get in touch with her audience.
That's something she hasn't been doing so well lately, has she? He, you, whatever.
Alexandra's books are selling just fine.
Oh, that's not the way your publisher describes it. Suzanne Dubonnet says your sales have been slipping, that you desperately need a hit book. Kind of book Candace Collier could write.
Is this your clever way of bringing up the stolen manuscript?
How do you know about that?
It's a small world. Word gets around. Why, you think there's some connection between the stolen book and the bomb that killed Candace?
Well, why don't you tell me? You're the demolitions expert. Could you have made the bomb that blew her up?
With my eyes closed, but I didn't do it.
Did you steal the manuscript?
No. But I did see it. Somebody left it out on my doorstep, the first 5 chapters.
And it was an offer to sell me the whole works for $50,000, and I'll tell you, I was tempted. But I figured I could sink or swim with what little pride I got left.
Do you have any idea who tried to sell you the manuscript?
No, but I know that I'm not the only person it was offered to. Now, Suzanne's got another writer whose sales are even lower than mine, somebody who would do anything for a hit. Why don't you talk to her?
Who's that?
Barbara Manchester.
At a worse time. I'm hosting Cosmo and Jolene's wedding tomorrow, and the house is utter chaos. But on the other hand, you've given me a wonderful reason to dodge some responsibility. Come on.
I wanted to do that since I first saw you again at the beach.
Barbara, I'm on a case.
You sure know how to kill a mood.
Well, I've got a job to do.
And I'm not making it any easier. All right, Chief, you may question the suspect.
I don't consider you a suspect. Or I didn't until my son told me that you may have bought a manuscript that was stolen from Candace Collier.
Buy it? I didn't even finish it. I read a few chapters and threw it away.
I wish you had told me about this sooner.
Well, I didn't think there was any connection between the manuscript and the murder.
What was the book about?
A love affair. More of a sex affair, actually. Between an older woman and an incredibly vain young man who happened to be a model.
Sounds like a tell-all about Candace and Cosmo.
Exactly. And do you know what male model recently announced he's having his first novel published?
Don't tell me, let me guess. As we can see, Cosmo.
Help me. Somebody please help me. Oh, thank you.
First Robin Hood, now Tarzan. You ever get an identity crisis?
All right, kill the bird.
Give me a second, sweetheart. How could I get an identity crisis? I'm always the hero. What do you want?
Talk about your writing career. I didn't realize you were so multi-talented. That is, if you wrote it.
I wrote every word.
Did you?
Yeah.
We know about the manuscript stolen from Candace Collier. That it was about you. And I also have a photocopy of a check that you wrote for $50,000 to buy the manuscript.
Did you get that?
Cheap trick, but effective. You bought the manuscript, didn't you?
So what?
So you know what I think? I think Candace found out you bought her manuscript. She threatened to expose you, and you killed her to stop it.
Wait a second. Maybe I bought the manuscript. It was about my life. I figured I had a right to take the credit. But I didn't kill her.
Who'd you buy the manuscript from?
I was instructed to send a check to a numbered Swiss bank account. And that's all I know. Thanks. More questions?
Yeah, just one. What do you got against wearing shirts?
Bad for my image.
So is murder. I'll be in touch.
Well, Henry, have a dozen roses sent to Barbara Manchester. Thanks.
Dad?
Peter, I just read your report on Cosmo. There may be enough to bring him in for further questioning. Our book needed a good plot twist, and I think we've got it.
Maybe, but I don't think Cosmo's the killer.
No? Hold that thought. Henry, make that 2 dozen roses. Yeah.
You might want to cancel that order. I just spoke with Lily. She's got a match on the fingerprint on the candy box. Dad, I'm sorry. The fingerprint is Barbara Manchester's.
This is perfect. Thank
Hello.
you. Hello, Eve.
Miss Manchester, Candace had wanted Jolene and Cosmo to have this.
I'm surprised she'd give them a present at all.
Well, you won't be when you see what's inside. It's 2,000 publicity photos of Candace. Your house looks wonderful.
Thank you.
And you have company, so.
Thanks for the gift, Eve.
I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, Chief.
I don't like the way you're looking at me. Something wrong?
I don't like being played for a fool.
What are you talking about?
The bomb that killed Candace was wrapped in ribbon. Your fingerprint was found on the ribbon.
So now you think I killed Candace and you've come to arrest me?
If I have to?
The cop is suspicious. What about the man, Amos? What does he think?
He wants the truth.
Fair enough. Did I touch the candy box? Yes. Did I kill Candace? No. They were still filming the commercial when I got to the parking lot. I noticed the box of candy sitting on the front seat of Candace's car. I picked up the box to see who sent it, opened the envelope, and read the note.
Was there a name on the card?
No. All it said was, enjoy. I put the card back, returned the box of candy to the seat of the car. That's how my fingerprints got on the ribbon. I swear it. If you don't believe me, arrest me.
Dad?
Peter.
I just called the office. Barbara Manchester was never booked.
It's because I didn't arrest her.
But we have her fingerprints all over the murder weapon.
I don't think she's guilty.
Never let your emotions get in the way of your job. Burke's Law.
Sometimes even Burke's laws have to be broken. Burke's Law.
Okay, fine. We're back to chapter 1. Now what?
Well.
Want some chocolate? I got them for my date, but as it turns out, they give her hives. Damn. Butterscotch.
Butterscotch. That's it.
What's it?
Peter, call Lily and have her meet us at the office.
What about my date? She's gonna be here in a minute.
Peter will drive.
I know that look, Dad. You figured something out. What?
If my hunch is right, we're about to put the bite on our murderer.
I sure wish you'd tell me what you're looking for.
A morsel of evidence.
Ouch. Bad pun, Dad.
Yeah, but good clue. Any luck tying a name to the Swiss bank account Cosmo sent the $50,000 to?
Not yet, but I'm hoping for an answer by morning.
Good. We need to make one more background check, and I think we'll be able to set the last chapter of our little book at Cosmo and Jolene's wedding.
And do you, Cosmo, take this woman for your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, for richer for poorer, in sickness and in health, for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Sorry to interrupt the festivities, but there's a cloud hanging over this party. The murder of Candace Collier. You lied when you said you didn't know anything about the stolen manuscript. You lied because you were the one who stole it. We traced the $50,000 Cosmo paid for the manuscript to you, Suzanne.
All right, I admit it, but I didn't kill her.
I never said you did. You, on the other hand, are guilty of murder. Of the English language. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Huh? No, try it yourself. You couldn't write home for money.
Cosmo, Jolene, congratulations on your wedding day. My present to you is full exoneration on the murder of Candace Collier. Aye.
Sure.
Barbara, I doubted you, and for that I'm truly sorry. I know now you're innocent, and I hope you can forgive me.
I already have.
You killed Candace Collier.
No.
You have a very distinctive way of eating chocolates, Miss Baker. You take one bite and put it back. I noticed that when we talked with you at Miss Collier's house.
So what?
So you couldn't resist putting a half-eaten chocolate back in the bomb you made. We matched your dental records.
It's insane. That's crazy. Why don't you talk to Norman? He's the demolitions expert, just like...
Your father? We ran a background check, Miss Baker. When Candace divorced Norman Hope, she married your father. Candace Collier was your stepmother.
My father devoted himself completely to Candace Collier. He gave her everything. When she was done with him, she just tossed him aside like she did with all of her lovers. Broke his spirit. He drank himself to death. Candace Collier killed my father. And I promised myself that I would get revenge for what she had done to him. And it was so easy. It was like writing a book. And it ended just like I planned. Candace Collier blew herself up.
There's one chapter you forgot to write. The epilogue. But you'll have plenty of time to do it. Inside a jail cell. Peter, Booker.
Oh, Amos, I'm really going to miss you. I don't suppose I could entice you to visit me in Ireland.
You'll be so busy researching your next book, you won't even think of me. But who knows? I may just surprise you. Here's to romance. Well, are we ready for dinner?
Well, we are, but I don't know about Henry and Vinny.
Why didn't you tell me my date was your cousin?
Because I didn't think it was pertinent.
And married.
Wait a minute. She's not married. She's semi-married. Her husband's been away.
For how long?
2 years.
Doing what?
2 years.
Prison. I want my money back.
Okay, I'll give you your money back, but you're gonna deny yourself the pleasure and the privilege of meeting Scarlett.
Scarlett?
Yeah, red-headed, loves Polynesian music, poo-poo platters, and she wants a guy who knows how to treat a lady.
Now you're talking.
Back in business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dinner served.
Woof.
What's the matter?
Nothing. She's 89 years old. Later, I'll tell Henry later. I gotta get out of this business.